Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Melanin Madam. Tonight, we're not rolling out red carpet because I just don't feel like it. How about you guys just come in and we have fun? Let me tell you before we get started, I'm about that life today. Don't come in here being rude. Don't come in here being hypersensitive. Don't come in here telling women how they feel. Don't come in here telling us any of that. Not today. Okay? Thank you. So let's get started. We will have you not ready for today? I'm a mess already. Okay, so we are going to have everybody introduce themselves, and then we're going to jump into the topic, which happens to be about the trans impact on the womb woman. That's it. That's the topic. No long exorbitant name. That's it. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Well, everybody, I'm Rashonda, aka Rose. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hey, girl, hey. Oh, that was it. Okay. My name is Dr. Piera Martin. Hey.
That's it. So, before we get started as well, let me tell you. So, I have experience in the healthcare space from an HR perspective and what things get passed and what things do not. Ro is a nurse, and then Piera is obviously the doctor. I don't know why she couldn't just be Piera. No, I call her doctor all the time. I'm just playing.
She earned that title. She earned that title, doctor.
Oh, my mama. Like, for real, for real. So, no, I'm just playing. So, I will start with the first clip, and then we will discuss the clip and go from there. However you want to discuss it, you can. If you want to share an experience, share your opinion, the forum is open. So I'm completely prepared for this video not to be monetized, and I'm completely okay with that. However, I don't think that will be it. But I don't think that you should have to have a filter in a space that we were born into. So let's get to it. This is the first clip. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mel, a trans man, is carrying the baby they conceived without any aid. What was it like being pregnant as a man?
It was very emotional. It was very physically challenging. I mean, even the process of getting pregnant was uncomfortable. Having to ovulate and menstruate, that brought a lot of dysphoria to me, but it also made me more comfortable with my body.
Jamel was assigned female at birth and at 22 transitioned to male. He can still use his body to conceive and carry a baby. What did that feel like for you to have to stop taking testosterone?
It felt like I was losing a part of me. It felt like a big sacrifice. Like I was sacrificing my identity to bring forth our family.
Who wants to go first? Oh, one more thing I do want to say first. I did put it out before we started, but there is no discrimination, no being rude. Everybody has the right to be safe, no matter what path you choose or are born into. And so this is a space where we talk about how it impacts us as women, but there is no being disrespectful. And I'm not talking to the panel, I'm talking to the people in the audience, because that's not okay. Okay. So Hilda has a question, which she's right here, so she could have just asked, but I mean, that's cool. Is it no?
Is that the?
So I believe that,
because what I'm trying to figure out is
the one on the table that was pregnant was definitely a woman.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The man, is that a man?
That one I could never figure out. And I did watch the whole thing. I'm not sure if you guys did. I couldn't figure that one out.
It probably is a male. It probably is a male. It's a male and a female.
I thought it was a male too.
But is she supposed to be the woman?
No, they're
Okay, so that's
Go ahead.
that goes into the topic, okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
It goes we'll slide that. That's a perfect question. So the man on the table he had he's a man. He's a trans man. Okay, but
Trans woman.
Trans woman.
Trans woman.
I know it's the
because
reverse.
he was, yeah,
Yeah.
he was biologically born as a woman.
Yeah.
So he still has his body parts that they're saying to still ovulate, to conceive, but did it at age 22 to take away the ability to have the body still function as a woman.
Correct.
The partner, spouse, I wasn't sure if that was the partner or spouse, if they were married or not, but that was biologically a man who has trans over to a woman. Sometimes what happens is there's so many different levels that a lot of people are not aware of, meaning you can be a man trans and have transitioned to a woman, but maybe you want to keep your facial hair. Maybe
Right.
you don't want to grow your hair long, maybe,
Right.
and vice versa, right? So for this woman, I'm going to speak as what they are wanting to be presented as. The one that was pregnant wants to be presented as a man, and their partner is being presented as a woman with the dreads or the locks, right? So the man that had the baby, when he's discussing his journey, he mentioned the body
dysmorphia.
Yes, dysmorphia. And that is huge. And that actually makes a lot of sense, right? Because at age 22, he was already making that transition from a woman to a man.
Right.
And to feel like you have to go back, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like the fight to just be able to have the opportunity to become, to transition over to a different gender. And then for this, like he said, the sake of my family, now I got to go back. And then, but my appearance now is as a male. So what type of backlash or, experience am I going to have that would have someone kind of question their body, their position as far as how they identify. And that can definitely cause emotional, cognitive, and social discomfort and issues. I think it's brave when people in general are trying to have children. It's brave when people of same sex are trying to have children. And then now trans are giving their perspective of what it looks like to be biologically one gender, transferring over to another, but then you still have to be back in your original.
Well, you don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, in order to have that baby, that was how they went about it. So that's a lot of, from what I gathered that's a lot of back and forth. So I could see where that would cause a whole lot of emotional turmoil.
I could see where it's not fair that it does. Because how do you get to just go back and forth and you want me to respect you when you go this way and then respect you when you go this way? And then here's what as a woman, when you get ready to have a child, don't you feel like you lose some of your identity? Don't you sacrifice your life? Don't you do all of those things? So why is it that when you do it, you want somebody to say, oh my God, you chose that? Same way. I mean, you going back and forth. So you're choosing to go back and forth. So that's why I say that if you're not psychologically prepared, it really makes no sense, because that's the first thing that they go to, and they want everybody to be woe is me. When I work in a space where for HR, the reason why I exited, this was actually the reason why I exited. The final year that I was in HR, I saw the benefits come across my desk, and it included benefits for the trans community, but it still didn't include any type of care for a woman who could not have a baby and needed some help. And in vitro, all of those things are very expensive, but there's no coverage for that, but you slap that on there. So how, as a woman, are you not helping a woman with her natural body, nor are you helping her after she gives birth, and you're calling it plastic surgery, elective, if something happens, if her titties start dropping and she wants you to pick them back up or anything like that? I think that the real problem is that women are facing a problem because we get to watch somebody else live in la la land by choice. But me as a woman, and I still think everybody has the right to do all of it. The problem comes in where you think that you trump me as a woman, and they do. That's where the problem comes in. No, woe is me. What you should have been saying is, thank God I got to do this. And that's almost never the perspective. It's never enough. It's and I think that it should be. If that's what you wanted to do and you want people to celebrate it with you, well, first you have to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I feel about that one.
Was the spin of that story all about them receiving like discrimination, and you know what I mean? Like,
actually, it was about great point, Pete. It was about Atlanta. So in Atlanta, there are certain laws against your not behavior. What you do when you have AIDS, what you do when you are gay, what you do when you are certain things. Atlanta specific zip codes have delegated laws where they don't embrace it just yet. And one of the main things that they don't embrace is that this particular the man that was having the baby, well, we'll just say the mom was saying, when you're a woman, it's celebrated. When you're pregnant, when you're trans, it's not. Well, I would just like to call out, it's not all the way celebrated when you're a woman either. We still face discrimination at work and everywhere else. Those things are celebrated because we celebrated them and we started doing certain things. So what they are looking for, those are elective things. And so you're looking for everybody else to pay for it when they already paid because you said you identify as a male and you want them to help you with that. Now you want them to help you come back to do some. I mean, we have, not that life isn't important, but we have cancer. We have a woman who can't have a baby. We have a lot of things that they trump that. So that's what the show was about. So they weren't discriminated against. They called it discrimination, but it was simply that it wasn't coverage for certain things, or people will look. But hell, people gonna look at me because I'm fat. So when you do things that, it's just the way that the world is. Does it make it right? I mean, they're just looking. They didn't say anything to you or treat you bad at the hospitals. Why are you raising your hand?
He has a full beard with a belly. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
I've seen a lot of them like that now, and because I follow this one on Snapchat, and this, I'm trying to get it right because I don't need nobody trying to counsel me. He had a baby just like this one. He had a baby, but looked exactly like a man and everything, but decided to have a baby. And when he's out now that he had the baby, he's out at the park breastfeeding and everything. So people looking at him sideways, but it looked like
they look at us like that. So.
But they're gonna really look at him sideways because that looked like a real man.
You want something that's not real.
Exactly. So he said like he don't understand why people get mad at him because he decided to have a child. He still has the organs, the same as he said. But my thing is like, it's not nothing wrong. It's not nothing. People are not mad. It's just that, well, I'll say me. I'm confused because if you want to be a man, then be a man. Why go have a baby?
It's
like you wanted to be a man, so why do you want to have a baby? So people are going to look at you like that. But it's just weird. Now, I'll choose my words wisely. It's weird to me. Like, I don't understand it.
It's weird to you. As somebody that has
not
birthed a baby yet, imagine how I feel. What if I'm sitting next to that person at the doctor? Nobody knows why I don't have a baby yet. But what if I'm the person that's in there swiping my card for $20,000 to do something? What if I'm the one that's going through being hurt and you sitting there your life really allowed you to go back and forth? And that's in any space that somebody is going to look at things and take it a certain way, but especially in a space where I was born to do this. My cramps make me feel like I'm going to pass out every month. I could get ovarian cancer. I can get breast cancer. I could die in birth. All of these things. And you get to choose when you want to do it, but more so, not for this. She's a woman, but now they have the womb that they can insert in a male. So
Yeah, that's just
you
playing
just
with
get to
God.
pick what you want to. Not only it's playing with people, so you
But
can't
it's
figure
just still
out how to
playing. You
make
playing with
me as a
God at that
woman.
point. Oof.
Well, yeah, but you can't figure out how to make me as a woman, and I don't have problems getting pregnant. But you can make me figure out as a woman. When did I become so important that everything else is important? When women go through a lot, we are at the bottom of the totem pole for everything. We're not even received in spaces. Why do you think there aren't very many women CEOs? And I don't mean a CEO that you made your own company. Why do you think there's not many executives? They don't want us in those spaces. I've heard them say it because, oh, she'll get pregnant or, oh, she'll have to do this. Really? Really? So no, I don't think it's fair. And if you think that people aren't going to look at you and feel something, that's just not realistic. You doing too much. And then you're taking it out on us too. And you try to gun for us first. So how does that work? I thought you wanted
And
to
I
be
think,
inclusive. Sorry, Pete.
Yeah, that
right,
is
no,
true. Just like
I
you
think
said.
that's the part that you're right. Like that's where, because that's why I was just saying, I'm like, okay, well, let me see where he's going. That now makes more sense. Like what you're saying is that it's not so much that, okay, we all know everybody feels some sort of way. It's the confusion part. If you're
Yeah,
gonna be a
it's
man,
confused.
why are we now back over here talking about this?
Right.
He is a woman. You know what I mean? But he chose not to. So that can be confusing to when you're trying to present socially to the community, right? You're trying to say, I want to have this freedom to come over here. And then everybody saying like, exactly. So we're making all this hustle and bustle to get you
Right.
opportunity for you to get there. But then now it's like, hold on, let me come back over here
Right.
and let me go ahead and do what my body naturally does. But you just got them saying this wasn't you naturally.
Right.
What you should
Right.
do naturally.
And you don't
So
identify
yes,
as that naturally.
exactly.
So,
So yes, when you now utilize the natural part, you're shifting. Again, I'll go back and still say, no wonder you're confused and you have body image issues or emotional or cognitive turmoil because you yourself can't come up. That is coming across as you don't know what you're doing.
It's coming
I'll be
across
here to
very
say
much
it is.
so as I want to do what I want to do and you're throwing a tantrum. Because to your point, we have to change all of these things when you want your own. So you want to be included and you want your own. So we have to make the laws, we have to make work towards it. That's what they said. I'm sorry, guys. They wanted trans benefits. They use trans benefits specific. Trans benefits are all elective. Let's just throw that out there. They're all elective. So benefits how? If you want to elect to do something, you will pay for it. Just like everybody. Why do you think that you shouldn't have to pay for what everybody else has
yeah.
to
Well, we
pay
can't
for?
even.
They
Yeah,
want
well,
their
like you
cake,
said.
eat it too. I'm gonna tell you how to feel. I'm gonna tell you that I'm better than you. I'm gonna tell why is your kid confused? Let's teach this in school. Teach what? Y'all, you haven't landed yet. It's new. Y'all want to come in and it's just here. You don't land that way, and nothing in history has landed like that. Again, we are still fighting. Didn't we just go through fighting for whether I can have a baby or not? The government being able to tell us if we can do it? If the baby that's in me.
But
No
right
matter
now
how we
it's
got
going.
there,
Right
we
now
still fighting.
it's better on their side. Like they get more benefits than
But this
regular
is what
women.
I'm saying, because they throw
what the
words
issue
out
is
there that
that
are not appropriate, like
Yeah,
discrimination.
they
And
do that.
discrimination, homophobic, all of those things. When we're like, all I did was ask a question, and all I'm doing is asking, how did you make us go to this extreme and really feel so strong? Because we all know it be extra as hell. It be extra as hell. That's how you get it passed. Then you come back a couple years later, like, what I meant was, some of the people in their own, I don't know if alphabet community is derogatory. I'm saying that because I don't know all of the alphabet. So if it is, please give me a back.
LGBT, and then it's another.
It's more at the end.
It's more at the end for queer.
LGBT plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
plus, yeah.
What did you
So
say?
there's like 3 more at the end.
You just say LGBT and then you just say plus.
Plus,
Oh,
yeah.
That's
okay.
anything included that keeps evolving and transitioning. Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I dislike about it right now because like I said, a lot of us are confused about it, but the only thing I really dislike is that I feel like they don't care about us women. Well,
They don't
they call us cisgender. They don't care about naturally born women
at
that
all.
yeah, they care more about them, like as far as the dressing rooms and using the bathrooms and all that. I feel like that's unfair. Like they don't care about our feelings. They care more
At
about
all.
their feelings. I feel with that, they should have their own dressing rooms. Like if you still have your man parts, but you still want to
Not
identify you,
discriminatory. Males and females have their own.
yeah, you want to you
Yeah,
say you're
but
still a
this is
man,
what we're
but you
saying. It's
yeah
been
you
male and female. Sorry,
identify
guys. I don't know if you could hear.
yeah.
She said
They
it.
still
Yeah.
identify as a man, but
Mhm.
you want to get, I mean, as a woman, but you're still a man. You used to have all your man parts and you want to get dressed in the women's locker room. I think that that's unfair because what about us? I may be uncomfortable, but it don't matter how we feel. They're catering more to them, how they feel. And I feel like that's unfair. If they want to do that, I don't have a problem with it at all. But I think that they should care about our feelings too.
Oh,
That's
I
the
have a
only thing
problem
that
with
I
it
dislike. No, I
because
do
I don't
have a
have
problem
time to
with
be
it.
worried about what are you really.
Yeah,
Because
just
you
like
see
that
what
article
this is
out
a perfect
now.
example of going back and forth. So what if that well, she's a girl. So what if somebody switched to a woman and then they decide, you know what, I'm a male. What made you decide to switch back to a male? Are you now attracted to women again? But you've been in my space. You've been in my space and I've had to be comfortable with that. How do That's not okay because no matter what, you have your masculine energy, you have your masculine ability, and you will always be able to overpower me, whip my ass, rape me, do whatever you want to me. And I'm supposed to allow that space where because of things that were happening, it was male, female for a reason. That was to provide safety and those type of things. But now because you don't want to be uncomfortable or potentially unsafe, it is I have to compromise my safety though, because males are not compromised because they can always fight
Right.
and defend themselves. But female, again, is always compromised. Why? You're bringing your masculine energy into my space and telling me what I'm going to do. How does that work? How's that fair? Let me go to the next clip. This is good for the next one. Hold on one second. Let me see. So it has been identified. I'm going through the comments. It has been identified for some as a disorder because there are some that go through with getting the whole surgery and then there's a whole show about it and then they are not yeah, they wish they would have never gotten
Went through
it.
the whole thing. She got the penis. She can ejaculate. And her problem now is she doesn't have the strength of a man. So she feel like
Yeah.
she can't protect
Her,
clothes.
I saw that. I've seen that.
So,
But that's where I'm saying you
But you
have
guys
to
didn't
be
think about that.
realistic in what your expectations are. Did you
were
guys hear
98 pounds
Hilda?
before you got
Right. You was 98 pounds. So now you can do things that a male can do, but now you're upset because you're not as strong as a male and you can't protect your. But you know that to begin with. Some things are just. I think you're looking for perfection, or in your.
Because
that's not reality.
changed. So when you feel like you changed, you were supposed to transition into.
But hell, it's males who we could beat that. No,
Yeah, you
making
can.
light of it.
Yes, you can.
But I'm just saying because it's not reality, right? I'm just saying.
Right.
So,
I will tell you this from just to be clear, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a mental health doctor. I'll just put that out there to the audience. I will tell you this from working with adolescents in the foster care system, where this was one of the biggest issues that was or concerns coming up when you're ward of the state. The county is your, the workers, social workers. They're like your, your conservative specialists. What I mean? They are your people who are covering you, right? Like those are your parents. The state is the one that you're awarded to the state. When you had adolescents who did want to be trans, foster parents, biological parents may be still trying to get custody back or have visitation. We're really upset because there's a whole new labor law of protection that these children who are in the system had more, I don't say benefits, but they had the opportunity to be awarded to do the elective surgery under the age of 18, where even though on the other side in medical field, we just got to it where now it's age 12, right? Any child can be seen, mental health, medical doctor, dentist, without any parental consent.
Right.
Now, no, I will say, and I'm using this term loosely, and this is coming from a professional and a mother stance. Any professional in a right state of mind, when you are seeing the child, you should strongly encourage someone who they trust as an adult to be inclusive into treatment, whether it's medical, mental health, or dentist, because there's a capacity that they just don't have as far as understanding the service completely, right?
Right.
So I say all to say, the argument that professionals and people who are fostering and biological were having is that these children over here, though, in the system, because you're trying to read, it's kind of like a guilty parent type of thing where you're trying to abuse, that you're giving them freedom to do this young. And isn't that inappropriate when we won't even diagnose personality disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar? It's strongly not suggested to diagnose a teenager because they're going through adolescence, because the rationality part of their brain has not developed, because they're going through puberty, adolescence, they don't know who they are, their emotions are flying all over the place. It is not okay to allow them to make these life-changing decisions. Yes, you gave them the opportunity to say they can have elective surgery, and they haven't even finished puberty and adolescence. And there was a time where we had quite a few, I jumped around for different, places, and there was quite a few young men that were transitioning over to be female, and the, hormone medication, I'm talking about almost burning the house down because the way it rushed through their body, giving them all those hormones, and they had no mental clue of how to process and embody hormones that are meant to go into that naturally produce in a female. As a male, that was.
But that just goes back to everything that I am saying. We are taking what is not okay for everybody else, but in certain instances, making it okay, to your point, like the overcompensating parent, like the guilty parent. And how is that okay that adults are making decisions based on feelings and totally negating medical sociology? What is that is insane to me. And how you can't see that, it's crazy. It really is. In other countries, they go ahead and do it. One of my favorite makeup artists from Hungary started when she was 10. Well, somebody found out, tried to blackmail her like a couple years ago, and she came out and told on herself in her just turned 30 or whatever, but you would have never known it. But she started at 10. I don't agree with it, but where it's legal, if that's your child, then you should be able to. But we talking about from top down that it's not even, I don't know. Let's play the next
I just
clip.
think that it's too. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I just feel like you should have to be a certain age, and you should, to me, I feel like you should be 21, because you change your mind from when you 12 to 21, you could change your mind so many times. I feel like they should not be able to do that. Like I'm against that.
People getting it that have changed their mind.
Right. Like they should be 21. And really, I feel like they should be over 21. They should be like 25. Yeah. Like, and when you really know what you want to do. 18, you don't know. 16, you really don't know.
Your body starts to balance out a little bit. You've actually lived some life. 18 does not make you an adult.
You're still a child at 18. Yeah. And then 21, you're an adult, but you're still young. You don't know what you might want to do. Okay. Yeah, so I just feel like you said, they should at least be 25. I'm just so against that, but it's like that's the new world now, so it is what it is.
And we wonder why it's the way it is. So clip number 2.
I do think that trans women have every right to compete in women's sports. When trans women are on hormones, the hormones break their body down. Having gender affirming surgery breaks down the body. And so I think we really need to be educated before we jump to a conclusion that trans women are stronger than cis women in sports.
I find it interesting that you assume the people who disagree with you are uneducated. I will speak out against that. I think the research shows that trans women do happen to have a biological advantage against biological women. Even though you are taking hormones and that does start to change your body and level things out, we're talking about primarily people who have transitioned post-puberty, which means they do have male bone density, male wingspan, male hand size, feet size, lung capacity. All of these things are going against women, biological women, when trans women start to enter their spaces, their sports, and compete against them. And this is really concerning for me.
Okay.
Don't get me started on this one. No.
So I will first say that at first thought, I love the way she responded first, right? Because as a woman, professional or not, I'm always going to respond as a woman because I feel like people don't get the opportunity to because we have to be politically correct and all this other bullshit. No. First of all, can you stop using your masculine energy and thinking that we're fucking stupid? We're not stupid. You immediately assume, and they all, if not they all, I take that, the ones that obviously I pulled, that's what I'm talking about. It's always, well, you don't understand, you don't know. Why wouldn't I? Did you assume that? Just because I'm also including my feelings, which I have the right to do? Did you assume that? And did you think that because you could throw some things out there that it was going to substantially change the result? It's not. The reality is this. The reality is everything at this point is male and female for a reason. But now you want to go back and change it. How is that okay? How is that okay? Name one person that has stepped into the space to compete in a woman's space as a male and has lost.
None.
Why aren't they losing?
And even
Isn't everyone
what's his name?
6'7" with 6'7" arms? And
What's his name? Caitlyn. What? Caitlyn Jenner. He just spoke. She just spoke out on this because it was a transgender.
Sure did.
That just competed. I forgot what it was. It been so many lately. But he was saying he's been always saying that transgender women should not be able to compete in women. He was, like he said, he was in the Olympics. He was born a man, so he's going to win no matter what. And then it goes back to, you guys are still a man. You were born a man. Your hands are bigger. Your arms are bigger. Your bone density, everything is still a man. It don't matter what hormones you're taking. It doesn't matter.
Which is why they want trans benefits, because that was my other struggle in HR. So I don't have a problem either way. My problem was when you come in, I have to know if you're born a male or female, and I don't have time to go through this whole fucking red tape about, well, it's technically not this and it's, what are you? Because if there's an emergency right now and we have to call the paramedics, I need to know what to tell them, because there's certain things and procedures that you take if it is a male and if it is a female. That's just the bottom line. You
now
keep trying to negate that.
It's a long list now. When you apply for jobs, it's, I mean, literally a long list. It says what you identify as, and I swear to God.
I'm saying. That's why
it's like 20 things. It's like 20 things on there, what you identify as, and then it goes into the next one, your sexual preference. All that is on applications now. I had to literally look up all the meanings of everything. I'm like, what? But when it goes, it's just, that mess is crazy to me. It's just, I feel like it was one last week too.
Medical. How do you trump medical?
Well, now you have to say the pronouns, whatever they want to be as. He, she, it is said in their profile.
If it's an emergency and I can't remember that, don't you want me to know?
But it says it right there in the profile. It says it right under their name.
In HR?
Oh, I don't know about it, HR,
That's
but
what
for
I'm talking about.
nurses,
If it is an emergency
oh,
and I need, the paramedics don't need to know all of that. They trying to save
yeah.
your life. And it's certain things, that you do for one that you don't
But
do for
maybe
the
it
other.
would say
Here,
that
go
as a
ahead.
quick. Maybe
I'm
it
sorry.
would say that for yours, Asia, if they put it in the application, what they identify as, you probably would know.
You don't put it on there.
Not with a medical procedure. Medical
Thank
mental health
you.
procedures, when it
Thank
comes
you.
to being billed, it doesn't matter.
Oh, on a bill.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
talking
It has
about
to
your
do
for
with
real
billing
body.
and actual service.
Yes.
So here's how medical insurance works. Regardless, your medical insurance is always the footprint was done from the time you were born. That doesn't change. It doesn't matter how you socially identify. Gender has to go with what you are biologically born as. When I have clients and I take that,
Well, she's a nurse and she knows that part. I think she thought I meant like paperwork part.
right.
Yeah, but
yeah,
go
because
ahead
I
and
know
keep
with
explaining.
us,
But keep
yeah,
explaining so that everybody else will know.
yeah, because with us it's different. We see what they identify as when we go in their charts.
But you
I
say
see
that so
it.
you can talk to them. If
Yeah,
they are
so for
rushed
the
in
doctor
into
okay, so
ER
for billing is different. I didn't know for billing it was
And so,
for
different.
billing
right.
and
So
for the
for that,
procedure, the surgeon
correct.
doesn't
The
need to know that.
procedure.
Right.
Everything that's going. So when I get clients, we use Simple Practice, right? So
What?
I use Simple Practice for
Oh,
medical
simple
billing.
practice.
Simple Practice. And so what ends up happening is the client can go on there and they're going to enter all their information. It's going to say sex, and then underneath it, it's going to say how you identify. Now, when I go in there and when my admin is doing stuff and I go by and I relook at it again, we have a little blurb that we say, we're very clear. How you identify, whether it's his, her, they, us, whether they're non-binary, you identify as a woman. That's one thing. However, when it comes to your insurance, do not change where it says male or female. Now, if they are cash, they may say male, female, or they can deny saying what they are. I explained to them because I've had clients say why. And I said, because when it comes to medical billing and providing a service, your record medically has the gender that you were born on. It's like having a social security. It's
Right.
so when it comes time to providing a medical or a mental health service, there you cannot change that. There's certain things that will never change, no matter if you switch or you whatever. So it's a blueprint, and that's the part that sometimes people don't understand. So like how you were saying, just saying like, look, I need to know what you are, how you identify, but what your medical is gonna say, it matters. That's like you trying to change your DNA makeup. Your DNA makeup doesn't change just because of whatever lifestyle that you're living. The truth is when we are when we're coming in, when we're saying, LGBT plus, that has to do with the orientation of how you identify. Now another additional level that says what I want my social label to be. That has nothing to do with your medical service or billing in regards to any service when it comes to certain things. Those are systems.
Right.
Systems that will not change. And just like everybody else got to fall in line, you got to fall in line too. You don't like it, pay cash.
Right.
But
and that's pay cash for you, because in HR, it ain't no pay cash. You have to answer the question, because when I go in to enter their medical, that's my only two options. Because that everything you get is going to generate, like when they begin to go into wellness, when they begin to go into medications and what you're qualified for. Do you think that if I go in there and put male and you're a female who wants to still be able to have a baby later, that I could put birth control in there for you? I can't. When you're trying to, it's just, it's not.
Yeah, it's too many games.
Yeah, you have to become, that's why it's so important for me. I don't understand why aren't you comfortable with it? If you're comfortable with it, and the blessing is that you got to go with what you identify as, then you should be comfortable. You don't have to blurt it from mountaintops, but in spaces where it's important, why is it a tug of war for you to tell me what I need to know? Because I have to know you if you're gonna work here. If you don't want to, like Pierre said, you want to pay cash. Okay, if you don't want to tell me, you want to start your own business, you can do that. Then you don't have to tell me. But you're going to have to tell whomever you get medical. It's no way around certain things. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
You have. You don't want to die. You don't want to die. So it's no way around it. You just have to.
Can even link and piggyback to surgeries like bariatric sleeves, all those different things.
Yes.
That strongly I have said, not because, and of course, right, that feels like someone telling you no. So you're like, what? I know what I want for myself.
Right.
I'm thinking to myself, it's not even about that. But if we're having any type of eating disorder or issue,
handle that first.
To the relation, you have to handle that, or you're gonna come over here and you're gonna get sick. You're gonna come over here and have issues. And even when people have elective, I've had a client who literally, I will never forget this. They were like, she needs psychiatric help, and I'm like, I'm a therapist, oh, okay. And she got her boobs done, and the moment she got them done, she felt like her skin was crawling. And after she went back and was like, take them out. I can't. This is foreign. I'm sorry. I sinned against God. Like, I can't do it. I can't. She was turning 50. And
was it mental that it was like that, or she was allergic?
No, it was mental. And she freaked out. And she just was, and they were like, you're crazy. You need to go see a therapist. You need to. And then she started to feel disrespected. So what I had to get her to understand is the workup to get there.
Right.
Okay. And and now you didn't even let it settle in. It didn't heal.
Right. You didn't even give it time.
Only 2 days later, she was in there and she was like, take them out now. Made a huge fuss.
Go back in the surgery?
She went back to where she got it done and was like, take them out.
Did they take them out?
Did they take them out?
So she had to come see me.
Okay.
For a while. We had to process all that and work through all of that. But ultimately she was able to reschedule. She said she didn't care if she paid. She didn't care what it looked like afterwards. She didn't care. Within a couple weeks, she was able to go back and have them removed, and she just
bless her heart.
So one of the things that was very parallel to, again, people who I've seen it with bariatric surgery. I've seen it with,
lipo, tummy tucks, breast lips, eyes, makeup.
Multiple things that happen. One, when people don't recognize who they are in the mirror anymore, it freaks them the hell out. And the second one is pain. People don't know how they're gonna feel, and when
that's crazy to me.
The pain gates don't close, and they literally almost damn near have a psychosis. They almost have a breakdown.
So let me load this next one. Don't say nothing else. Hold on. This is great. This is literally the next one.
Diagnosed with vaginal stenosis, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically when scar tissue gets built up inside of the vaginal canal to the point where it's like extremely tight and uncomfortable. And the thing is, for the first year after getting bottom surgery, you have to dilate your vagina religiously because it's a brand new canal that needs to be kept open religiously for the first year. And now that I have this stenosis, I physically cannot dilate.
Wow, Zaya, I'm really sorry to hear that. Maybe part of the reason why you have to dilate your vagina religiously following that procedure is because it's not a vagina. And hearing you say, I knew it was going to be hard, but I didn't know it was going to be this hard. This is what I'm talking about when I say that sociology overriding biology disturbs me. Did somebody have to explain to Zaya that it was going to be real hard to chop off his dick?
Okay. So
that's why I said it literally went into what you were talking about. And when I saw that, all I could think first, I never agree with half of 90% of what she says. That was harsh, the last sentence. But again, it's some women are tired because you don't know what women are going. Everybody doesn't process how much we are going through and how much it sometimes feels like bullying and how much my vagina hurts when it's PMS time. You didn't think this was gonna hurt? Do you understand that we don't just have body parts and, when we get pregnant, it's so pretty and it's so cute and we have photo shoots and, it's just amazing. And then, when we don't want to use our vaginas, then they're just there. And then, we don't have to go for checkups and that doesn't hurt at all. And then we don't have to take pills that make us feel like we're going to throw up to prevent having a baby because we have to be responsible. And then when it's time to make a decision, now we're kind of being told, well, like you can make a decision, but you'll go to jail. You don't understand. This is what we were born into. And you want me to respect you on the same level. So some women are tired when they hear things like that, because yet again, it's somebody else crying as if someone's crying for any surgery. P, you go through the psychiatric process, you through it for any procedure that is elective or not elective. You go through a process. So
you're supposed to. And a lot of people are skipping and running through these because they're finding people
because you think you know what you're doing.
You know exactly. Listen, I've seen young ladies come in and they got issues with, okay, they went and had their butts done, this done, that done, and it's all ties in. Then they finally lose that stomach, and then it's like, oh, my ass is over.
Way too big, right? Because all you need to do is lose your fat in your butt when it came out, right? But you didn't listen.
You met the doctor, but people who,
tried to tell you.
It's like big boobs make your back hurt. That's why some people who have them try to get them gone, and you add them, and then when you have the back problem, then it's like you said, it's the woe is me. So I think to make it clear from the mental health perspective, what I try to explain when we have social norms and discussions and all these issues are flying all over the place, it's not about the actual, I want to identify as a man, a woman, I want surgery, whatever type of surgery. It's not all of that. It is I'm not even gonna make that comment because that will blow up a whole nother situation. I will say this. It is
I need you to give the real answer. If you happen to think too long about
it's the disregard. It's the disregard, like what you're saying.
It's the disrespect, the disregard, the bullying.
Now you're coming into this and you're disregarding us as if this existed. You wanted to be included. Well, part of the inclusion was the discrimination. That's why it's called sexism. That already existed. So now you wanted to be a woman, and now you know what it's like to be treated like a bitch.
Well, they really don't know, because they can have my uterus right now with all these cramps I'm having. They can have it right now.
You're getting a taste of the outward part.
Yeah.
And you can't function. And then on the reverse, if you have Instagram or anything like that, you listening to, well, we was the best to ever do it. We showing me how to do what?
Yeah.
And then if I tell you playing dress up, then I'm gonna be wrong. Show me how to do what?
They the blueprint.
You can never out-pussy my pussy. Ever. You can never out-pussy my pussy. You can never out-wound my woman.
I don't have social media, so I don't be knowing. Wait, this is being said?
Yeah, that they're the blueprint. They saying they the blueprint in everything for women. They're the blueprint for women.
It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful.
I just scroll past that stuff because I used to argue with people online all the time, but I'm like, you know what, Rashonda, I gotta stop doing that. So now, like with stuff like that,
but it's the fact that we have to see it. Again, you're bringing your male energy into our female space, and you gonna punk. You're not gonna debo me and tell me that you better than me. I steal your man, all of this. So you want to not only come in this space, you want to come in this space with the same side bitch, same adultery, same. What are you bringing positive to us? Because if you come to include yourself in the space where we already have these things, And those are the things you're proud of, and you want us to, oh, come here, baby.
Yeah, they
No,
say
but
they do their
it
hair
hurts.
better than us. They do their makeup better
Makeup,
than us. They dress
shape,
better than us. They
dress,
everything.
take our men,
Mhm.
all kind of stuff. Huh?
Right. And you're
Yeah, let me invite you over for
your
Sunday
point,
dinner.
You're doing exactly what the male chauvinist behavior is.
Thank you. That is damaging. We're not out of that. We're not out of that. And if you are a Black woman working in corporate, medical, any of those fields that they feel like we don't belong in, because they also treat us like we're stupid, we never stop having to deal with it. And now you want me to look at you looking like me, talking to me like that.
Right.
So just fuck us. Okay. How?
Yes.
I just would now with all this stuff going on, if you respect me, I respect you. But
Always.
a lot of them that are ignorant, I'm not even gonna give them the time of day because I'm not gonna work myself up. Like it's just like it's not even worth it. You can feel however you gonna feel. I'm gonna feel how I want to feel, but it's no reason for me to entertain you.
Yeah.
No,
it's a
but
lose-lose
the reality is
situation.
they're not going through us, bro. They going straight to laws. They going straight to things like that. So
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying too. That's
so
why I
it could
said they disregard our feelings. Now that's
yeah,
what
so it's
they
still
do
going to
disregard.
impact us.
Yeah, it does. But I'm saying as far as
That part.
you seeing somebody in person and they doing all of that or online,
Oh,
I'm not going to engage
girl,
with
keep
you.
going.
Yeah, but as far as what you saying, yeah, it's like they don't even care about us no more. Like it's whatever.
No, not at all. But we're supposed to be okay with that. How? And how are you not the one that's discriminatory? How are you not the one that's the bully? How are you not the one that's all of these things that you really are? You basically saying, shut up, talk when I tell you to talk like this, do this. And I mean, it's just crazy to me that these are all the things that have to be dealt with all the way down to you telling what should be taught in school. Never is an APA format paper going to be written with Asia getting this, identify myself as they. So, but you want that to be taught in schools. That's never going to be an APA format paper. So you're not going to college? That's not grammatic. You literally want to change grammar? Why? Why? And we can't do anything about the way that they raise their children. So if they do, and then the teacher is trying to tell them something, and they on some my mama said type shit, you're like, how do I save this kid?
There's no way. I seen today in Mississippi. I was actually surprised in Mississippi this week. It was a transgender girl, and they didn't let her come to the graduation because she was gonna wear a dress and high heels. I actually was surprised.
What kind of high school graduation?
Yep. And they wouldn't
no.
let her. Huh?
And they said high
school. They said that she couldn't wear a dress and high heels. She would have to wear pants and a tie.
Was she going against dress code?
They said that she was going against dress code, but she said that she's been identifying as a female since she's been in high school. She's always wore dresses, wigs. Her teachers refer to her as her and everything. So she didn't understand why for graduation she couldn't be herself, and she's been herself the whole 4 years she's been in high school.
That one is kind of tricky. Me personally,
it is tricky. That one was tricky.
Why not? But
you gotta think.
On the other side, I exactly can't wear a bikini to the graduation either. But
they're not gonna really see what's under your gown.
But I'm just saying, I could see both. But I don't know why you wouldn't just let that baby wear what she wanted to wear for her high school grad. Like, aren't you 17, 18 or senior year?
Literally, right? She said she don't never wear pants. Ever since she started high school, she said that she identifies as a girl, and it's just a lot of stuff. The sorority.
She's around kids all the time. Yes, they're accepting of it, but the public that's coming to see other kids might not be accepting of it. It's in Mississippi.
That was in Mississippi, so the judge stopped it. A judge stopped that one from. They said if she didn't wear the pants and a tie that under the gown, that she couldn't walk.
She couldn't just wear pants and shoes.
And she said she wasn't doing that. She said she
thing.
wasn't doing that because she never dressed like that. So
That's
why does she have to
that's
compromise?
degrading.
Why does she have to compromise how she has to dress for graduation, a milestone for what they want to do? But another one too was that sorority. I forgot what state it was in, and it was a transgender female who wanted to live in a sorority house, and then there was some of the girls there didn't want the transgender in there because they said that when she is walking around and they're walking around naked, that she still gets an erection.
Hell no.
So that's when they were saying, like, no, they
You
feel
have the
uncomfortable.
right to be afraid for something like
Yeah,
that.
they
I
said
mean,
that they
come
feel
on.
yeah, they said they feel uncomfortable with her around.
With you?
I would too. That's what I said. So to me, because I would feel like you're not really a transgender woman if you're still getting an erection. If you're still getting an erection, seeing other women, you not. It's something else going on.
Who was a transgender went into the women's housing and impregnated the damn.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, in the jail. You talk about the jail one.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
this
they
is
put.
what I'm saying.
Because you know why?
But the one in jail, you know, he said that the women in jail raped him. That's how they got pregnant. But you still got erect. Yeah, you still got erect.
But to that point,
All I can say, the only one that hurts my feelings out of all of those, I can understand the sorority one, and I don't think that should be allowed. The baby graduating high school, that one is so tough.
I did feel
so
bad because
tough.
I'm like, dang, and that's when I had to look further into it. Like, well, did he just want to put on a dress that day?
Right.
But no, it's from the beginning. Since he been at that school, he's been a girl.
Just be a G like me, like I wore chucks, but cross the stage, wear what you gonna wear and immediately go to your car and change to what you want to wear. Like in life, that was the first adult lesson that baby gonna ever learn. You don't get to do everything you want to do how you want to do it. Life ain't gonna conform to your feelings because a promotion is not exactly a promotion. What did they tell us? Is a
curly because it's too big.
Right. A promotion is a privilege, not a like it's not owed to you. They tell us that all the time when they exercise the hell out of that, right? But sometimes you gotta compromise. Maybe they could have just, like I said, I wore chucks for my graduation. And then just change to what you want during your own time, because in the corporate world, it's things we can't do. I can't have pink hair.
Well, in nursing, we came a long ways.
Right. Y'all can't wear nails. Y'all can't do this. You can't do that.
But now
they can.
But now you can have sleeves, tattoo sleeves. You can have color hair,
but
everything.
You should be able to have those things.
Yeah, you should.
But the point being is, it just happened, right?
Yeah, it did just happen.
Oh, they want to jump in and not this baby. I'm not talking about the baby.
But it's rules and regulations.
But that's life. It's rules to everything. And
now, if I was him, I would have just probably put on some pants. Not saying put on no slacks. He could have put on some little tight, some skinny jeans on or something, because you missed your whole high school graduation.
I'm not doing that. Because that's what these young people got to learn too. They out here talking about, well, for the cause, I'm gonna do this. The cause don't give a fuck, baby. They didn't miss you when you wasn't there. You missed it. Stop taking stuff from yourself.
When students wanted to dance across the stage, you know what I mean?
Yes, girl.
To throw stuff up, and they're like, no. The thing that gets missed, and I'm gonna tell you, it starts right there from the graduation. And I know, Asia, I know you have seen it in HR. That's the beginning marker of people who never transition to learn professionalism. You know what I'm saying?
That so is true.
That's why I'm saying that's the first lesson that baby learned.
And I'm just saying, like, the comment I was gonna make earlier, I was like, no, don't make it. I'm gonna go ahead and make it.
Please do.
The whole Black Lives Matter thing, and then it became the whole Brown Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, and we matter too. Damn it, no one said you didn't, nuthead. The reason why it was created was to say, include us, because you don't include us as human beings.
Right.
We want to be saying, we matter too. Every time somebody says, I matter too,
too.
Someone else got to say, well, us too. Well, here's the thing. Let's just not ignore the fact that there's sometimes a group, not for 20 years, thousands of years, thousands,
And still today.
never even counted.
And still today.
So some can even say how when all the stuff happened with the pandemic, remember? And they were like, what? Asian racism. How did y'all identify that so fast for 4 hours?
We was like, no, that's not racism. That's you getting your ass whipped for the stuff you've been doing and people is tired. But I mean, okay.
And I say that respectfully because it's not that someone is mad that you want to be included. It's when your inclusion dismisses all the other exclusions that have been going on. And a lot of the things that everybody is arguing about when and let's go back to this with this whole trans and women, is definitely the fact that women, no matter what color, religion, have already had the biases, the sexism, the glass ceiling, the being this, being that.
Women, period.
I mean, come on, women, like feminism is not that long ago, you guys, not even 100 years. Like, get out of here.
We still have things on ballots that don't belong there. Why are we still voting?
Politically about us still having a right to have an abortion.
That's what I've been talking about. Like, how?
So yes, like, congratulations, you wanted to be us, you inherited this. You're gonna inherit the downside. Now, my bad if you didn't notice it as a man, what it looked like coming over. But I will tell you this, men that go over to be a woman, they got a different set. And
absolutely,
I feel like there's even a little bit of a bias right there that clearly shows you the gender issue. Because you're over here trying to give these men all these accolades to be a woman, but look what, when a woman tries to become a man, you still tell her there's things she can't do.
Ooh.
So now
how much noise is it on that other side? How much noise? Oh, okay. Like I said, you bringing your masculine energy into our space, bullying us, telling us what we not gonna do, what you gonna take. That same energy ain't in that other space. I'm just saying.
No, because that's a woman going into a man's space.
But they could easily go over there and they could whine and complain and be like, yes, they could. You can do whatever you want to, but you can do whatever you want to. But it was very easy to come. That's the whole point. It's easy to come.
Because when they do that,
you're going to tell us what we're going to do.
Because you don't fit in that space.
Because like y'all said, when the women go over to the man space, they always go say, you still a woman. You, at the end of the day, you're still a woman.
Right.
No matter if you think you're
not
a man.
going to go against that real man, because that
you can get laws created for it. They're not even doing that. Again, you come in this space and portraying us. We don't do those things that you're doing.
That same person that says she didn't feel like she was a man. Yeah, she got shot in the neck because she wanted to be a man. They said, well, since you act like a man, well, I'm going to shoot you like I would shoot a man.
I remember.
So you can't. They got you
and then say, yeah.
Again, you leveraging your masculine energy. How many times have I said that? You're leveraging your masculine.
What makes me wonder is, are those the weak men?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Meet me in Pomona. You know how yeah, I don't understand. But yeah, so I'm still gonna go back to all the other ones. I don't have an opinion. Those ones is so hard, and those ones are unsafe. But the one with the little girl, I'm gonna tell the rest of y'all, like my sister just said, like Ro just said, y'all. And you could keep missing out if you want to. You only missing out for you. All that proving a point and that attitude and all that other shit. Don't nobody give a fuck. Do you think my job cares if I come tomorrow and I throw a tantrum? They don't care. It is not the smartest person in America.
You can't have your position filled.
They will have that position filled by 12 noon tomorrow.
Right.
Within the company, because there's somebody waiting for your seat and your opportunity. Right. Don't do that. If you want to do something, you can do it the right way. Sit down and compromise. That would have been an excellent opportunity to sit down and have a conversation to see how they could compromise. start leveraging things a lot better, because that's why I exited HR, because I couldn't do it. It's too much. It got outside of the law. Laws are clear to me. I could work with those. I can help you. I could compromise. What I can't do is have you come in attacking me, knowing that if you say certain things in this space, I'm automatically compromised. I don't like to be punked and bullied, so that didn't work for me.
Or like the young lady that was speaking earlier, when she said, "Why are you assuming that people are just naturally ignorant just because they don't agree with you?" You know, this is what I always tell my clients, and they'll be like, "Oh, they hate when I say it," and I'm like, "You're just smart enough to take an appropriate supporting evidence to make your point." You know what I mean? Like, there's some people who they're quick and they're smooth, and they could just be like, "Look, well, technically, yeah, you're right, but just because it can support your evidence still doesn't mean you're right." And it's of trying to shift that paradigm. Like, the reality is that, look, environments are environments, and they've been around for a very long time. And unless you can create your own environment, you're going to have to know that everybody bends in life. You either learn how to function in it, stay the fuck out of it, or go create your own. But even when you create your own, you're going to have people who come in there and watch you reinforce how you want things to be done. So we're not against human rights. We're not against how you want to identify what you want to do in your life. But I will tell you this, and I say this to my children: I can't help you when your ass sound confusing and you don't seem clear. When you're confusing, but you're trying to reinforce something, but you don't even sound like you're solid, you're not going to get nobody to buy into what you're talking about. You're not. You're not.
I just feel like we're talking to kids over and over. They throw tantrums, like you said. When I talk to my kids, like I just said, make a choice. Stop. Come on. You don't feel like these are not adult behaviors? Come on. It just, I don't know.
When a lot of everybody who you showed were young. So clearly all their transitions started in their teenage, young adult years, when you're still developing. And what's funny is that we're real quick, though, with everybody who's heterosexual or who's not trans, to set them in a clear space when they do wrong or they have inappropriate behavior. We're very fast in society. And so I think it's that whole confusion of, you can do what you want to do, but you can't do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like, we got to be a little bit more clear, or hold people more accountable to say, look, I remember I went to Fridays and my mom, we were standing in line, we got a line, and when we got to the front, the guy was just like, "Hey, you know what, you have to pass the 5-minute mark." And we were like, "Actually, we're not. You called us, we're here, but there's like literally 20 people in front of us." We appropriately got in line and waited so that we could say, "Hi, we're right here." We even waved like this. Whether you saw us or not, whatever. Did we approach you and interrupt? No. Because you know why? We were just being appropriate, like grown-ass people, and got our asses in a line that we clearly could see. When we got up there, he said,
and I had to be here to know that line was there.
Yeah, here he goes, popping off at the mouth, and so my mom said something back to him, and he basically was like, "Is it because I'm like this?" And my mom was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" My mom had no clue.
Not to Judy.
She said, "God damn it, I just want to sit down and eat some motherfucking lobster and steak." That was it for her birthday. She said, "What are you talking about?" His energy went up. I said, "Hey, little nigga." I said it.
Period. Because that's my mama.
I said, "Don't talk to my motherfucking mama like that. Matter of fact, where's your manager?" And I said, "Listen, this man over here yelling at this older lady who's appropriate and stuff like that." I said, I don't think that's cool. Whatever. He went on a whole tangent about his sexuality, this and that. No one knew. Whatever's in here. And he basically said that he felt she was discriminating against him. And she said, "I felt like you discriminated against me sitting down eating some lobster and some steak. Because that's all I wanted to eat. And you were supposed to make me wait another 2 hours. And all I tried to tell you was, sweetheart, I've been here." But you see where that mind go? Because kind of find out previously that night, somebody was making comments. So he was just hypersensitive. So
But
now
how
you
are
get
you hypersensitive? I'm fat and I know I'm fat. I'm not hypersensitive if somebody says the word fat. Don't come out of line because I don't have a problem throat chopping you. However, certain things when you become an adult, I don't think people crossing over into becoming an adult. That's just how I feel because that
if
should
someone walks
not
up to
have
you,
happened.
you're not gonna be like, oh, so what is my weight?
Right.
What are you talking about? I just
Right.
asked
Like
you why. Matter of fact, he was the one acting crazy.
exactly. And you want somebody. So again, you have no boundaries in that space when you're at work, when the proper thing would have been to still, you can calm somebody down professionally. You didn't do that. You felt like you didn't, no, you're not on the clock because God forbid you behave the way you should while you're on that clock because you're not representing yourself. You're representing whoever you work for. Now, if they fire your ass, then you'll be saying, all I was trying to do was defend myself against what?
So he did get fired.
Defend
He
yourself
got let
against
go
what?
and sent home in that moment and was
See?
crying. And I was like, well, because you didn't get fired though because of your preference and how you identify.
No,
You
so
got
stop
fired
lying.
because you yelled and cussed someone out because you told them that they weren't in line and they were like, yeah, I actually could tell you who you picked and chose and saw. So what it was is really was just bringing to the forefront. Like I saw you doing all these different things and I'm not playing these games with you. And you went on something else. And see, in mental health, when I get my clients, I tell them that is a clear indication that something's wrong. Someone made the comment earlier when you talk about personality disorder. That clearly shows that something is you're not okay.
Need some attention.
And that's what we're trying to say. Yeah, like if you're not okay with your lifestyle, because sometimes it's not the world. The world goes against everybody. Listen, for everybody who's for you, you'll find someone against you. And with this social media, I've seen it. Everybody raise their hand to the right and everybody raise their hand to the left. Believe me, you can find people just
that
like you
part.
the same way and everything. So you can't use that now because you have that access to find people who are just in your realm. If we all wanted to say the sky is purple, I can go on there and find me 1 million followers that will believe the same thing and they can be my people, my crew. The truth is there's still a part where people are not okay with themselves and this automatic projection and any indifference they create as dissonance. And I think that is just stirring up so much shit that then when it does come to human rights, people are over it because they're like, fuck it, I don't even want to be bothered with it. You confuse me and you make my head hurt, let's go to bed.
Hence me exiting my career. So we'll end with that because we are going to do a part 2. 2 people couldn't be here tonight. We hope that they're both okay. One reached out. So we're going to start with that next week. Pierre actually brought it full circle because I said the reason why I stepped out of HR is because once I identified you could say whatever you wanted to, and right away you felt like you could say those things to me as an HR manager because you knew what that would trigger and what that would cause for you, and you use it to your advantage. We're going to talk about what that looks like, and where there needs to be some adjustments in that space because like that young man got sent home. Everybody's not going to keep dealing with the shit. And some people are not afraid. I wasn't afraid. If you did something wrong that had nothing to do with the tantrum you just threw, you're not going to sidetrack me. You're not going to deflect. You're not going to do any of that. And I stood in my ground. Everybody's not comfortable with that because there's some people are scared. So you're creating a scared space. So we are going to start with that for next week and we will be back. So, that was my closing. So I'll allow Ro to close and then P to close. Yeah, that's my closing. We're going to start with that next week, you bullies.
I don't even have a closing because it's so much to.
It is, girl. That's why I felt it was easier to just pull clips and go based off of that.
Yeah, it's just too much. It's a lot. It's just too much.
It's a lot.
Like, everybody have a good night.
Everybody see you next week.
Okay, we exhausted. P.
That was it. Everybody see y'all next week.
I'm telling you, this shit is exhausting, but we made it through it. Lord Jesus, we made it without nobody cussing us out, killing us, beating us up, or nothing like that. Amen. Won't he do it? See what happens? Right. Because real women, not real women like that. I mean, real women, all of us, anybody identify as a woman. We are Mother Nature. We are very much, I'm going to tell you how I feel, but I still care how you feel too. I'm just saying. That's how we are. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Make sure you share this video. Tell us your favorite part.
Bye.